Guys, it's Ellen here with a fun little Thanksgiving paper craft. Today we're going to make a little cube turkey. This craft's just 2 pages. I'm going to go ahead and color it and then show you how to put it together. Now that we've finished coloring it, we're going to go ahead and cut out all the pieces. Okay, now that we've cut out all our pieces, we're ready to start assembling. You want to be really careful about the wings and the beaks. They're really tiny and they're really easy to lose. In the file for this, I have an extra page that has a bunch of extra wings and beaks, just in case, especially if you're using this for a classroom or in your library. That way you can have that on hand in case any of your students or any of the kids lose the extra pieces. Now that we've cut everything out, we're ready to start folding. I'm going to set aside our feathers and our head over here, and I'm going to start folding the box. So I'm going to fold carefully down on all of the dotted lines. Make sure you fold all of the tabs. I always end up missing one when I'm doing it, but it works a lot better if you remember to fold them now rather than after you start gluing. It can kind of mess with you putting the box together. Just fold carefully on each dotted line. You can see when I colored, I left a little space here for the tail feathers. Sometimes depending on the glue you use or the crayons that you're using, it can be a little tough to get the glue to stick to crayons. So if you want to leave yourself a little extra space, not the end of the world if you don't. Okay, I folded all of the tabs and all of the lines, so we're going to assemble this into a little box. For this part, I find that glue sticks work best. There'll be some other things where regular white glue works, but for this, glue sticks work best. So you're just gonna start putting together tab by tab. Try to line up the sides as best you can and hold firmly for a few seconds just so it sticks before you try to move on to the next part. Next tab. Sometimes I'm strategic about how I put these together, and other times I just start gluing around and figure it out as I go. But when we get to the last side, it can be a little tricky to get the pieces to all stick together sometimes, and that's also sometimes where I'll use some white glue, but I'll show you when we get there. The best thing for this is to be patient. Really make sure you let the glue dry a little bit before you move on to your next tabs. Okay, so we're on to the last little side flap closed. We're gonna put glue on all of these tabs. These two here, and this one. And we're gonna slowly and carefully slide this together. If your students have a tough time with this, or your kids are having a tough time with this, this last step, you can use a little bit of white glue to kind of get under the edges if you need to, or even you can use tape. For one of my kids, I used a little bit of tape for theirs because they had scrunched their box a little bit when they were making it, so you can use a little bit of tape on the sides to especially shut that final part. Okay, so we have our cube made. So what we're going to do next is we are going to attach our beak to our turkey. So the beak, what you're going to want to do, it's a little tough to see, but you're going to want to fold down on that middle line. Nice and carefully. We're folding down. But on these little mini tabs, we're actually going to fold up, and this is what it's going to let us glue it to the turkey's face. Just kind of fold. You don't have to be exact. As close as you can get it. There we go. And then you can see as we glue it onto the face, it's actually going to stick out a little bit. So for this part, I actually use white glue. I just find that it's easier to be a little more precise. So you just need a little bit right where it says to glue the beak. A little bit here, and a little bit there. And we're going to carefully stick our beak on. If you want to use the tip of a pencil to kind of help hold it, you can, or you can just use your fingers. Hold it for a few seconds just to really get it stuck there. And there we go. Our turkey now has a beak. Okay, so we are going to attach our head to the box. Now that the box is assembled, you can do this two ways. You can use white glue and put some white glue on here, or you can carefully use a glue stick on the back part of this. I'm just going to use white glue. It's easier than accidentally squishing the box. We're going to carefully line this up. Hold it for a little bit to let it dry, and our head of our turkey is on. Okay, next we're going to do the wings. So on the wings here, you can see there's a little line. You're supposed to fold up on those just so the wings stick out. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I like the wings to stick out a little bit. And then we're going to put a smidge of white glue here along where it says to glue the wing. Actually, I think I need this wing for this side. You can see the wings are slightly different. So it's really shaped like the wing should be on this side of the turkey. And then we're going to attach that there. Give it a few seconds to really stick on. And then we're going to move on to the other side. And I'm not going to lay it flat because I don't want to squish the wing that we've already attached, but I'm just going to add a little bit of glue here. And attach our wing. Okay, now for our final part, we're going to glue on our tail feathers. Now you can color them like I did, or have your kids or students color them like I did, or you can also use this as like a thankfulness activity. They can write different things that they're thankful for and have those stuck onto the turkey. It's really up to you. So I'm going to start gluing on some of our feathers. Just going to put some glue. You can either put some glue on the feathers themselves, or you can put it right on here. Just a pretty good amount. And start sticking them on, kind of in a circular way. Add a little bit more glue each layer that you're putting, just so that they really stick on well, so they don't fall off. We do a red one next. There we go. Let's kind of see how that's turning out. There we go. Stick an orange one here. I'm gonna add a little more glue. Let's do a brown one next. The yellow one. Starting to get a little squished. You don't have to use all of the feathers either if you don't want to. I put plenty in this printable just so you have lots to use. Yeah, that's really looking good. Turn that one a little bit. Then let's do our last one. I'm just gonna have that one tuck right in there. Gonna wanna let this dry for a little bit. And now there we go. We've got our little Thanksgiving turkey.